You know, if having the biggest box was equivalent to a dick measuring contest from all these audio companies, I think Klipsh would win. This box is ridiculous. I wasn't actually planning on making a first impressions of this headphone because I didn't actually know that it came in a box like this, but if something comes in a box like this, how can you not take a look at it? It's crazy. The presentation is excellent. This headphone, the HP-3 from Klipsh, is Klipsh's top-of-the-line headphone. It's actually one of the only headphones that they make. This is actually sent out by viewer Justin. Justin, thank you very much for sending this out. The presentation here is awesome. This is real wood on here, plastic on the top, not glass. It's got this strange lid here, and I'll show you. It's not a great idea because it's got this handle on it, but it slides out one direction. So if you lift this up on the wrong side, it's gonna slip and fall out the other side. So not great. Anyways, slides right off just like that. And let's go ahead and take a look at this thing. So the bottom of this has two layers. It's got the accessories in the bottom and the headphones on the top. And I guess we'll go ahead and take a look at the headphones first. Okay, so presentation aside, one thing that's kind of interesting about these is the chassis itself is unique to Klipsh, but the drivers are not. The drivers, I believe, are actually made by Fostex. And I think they're TH610 drivers. Something along those lines. I'll put it up there if that was wrong. Now, in terms of accessories, this does have something very cool, which is a headphone stand. And this is a solid piece of metal. It probably, I don't know, probably weighs about half a pound, I would probably say. Then this actually has a screw right at the bottom that would screw in here and hold the headphones up. I'm gonna leave this headphone in here because currently I do not need extra headphone stands. Two cables, certificate of authenticity, Tacony nuggets. I don't think this is a collaboration with Tacony. This must have just been sent by Justin. But these things are actually kind of interesting. They're little stickies that stick on the inside of the headband for hot spots to relieve some pressure. They're very well made, and I'll leave a link in the description down below to this. Okay, so the headphones themselves. Leather straps holding them in. Crazy, weird. And then let's go ahead and see if we can pull these out without damaging anything. Okay, the pads came right off. And you can actually see more Fostex influence here with the pads having a slightly thinner front section and a slightly thicker back section. It looks like these magnetically clip on to this. And actually, we'll flip this over so you guys can get a good look at that driver. So if you're familiar with what a lot of the Fostex headphones look like in terms of their drivers, this is a very familiar look. This looks very reminiscent of what you would expect. Like I said, though, I think the housing and the general structure is unique to this headphone, but I do see some sort of similar design influences compared to some other brands like Sony, the ZR1. This yoke here looks very similar to the Sony ZR1, which is a headphone about the same price as this actually. Which is a closed-back headphone, one of my favorites. It'd be interesting to see if this is actual copper, but I don't think so. It doesn't look quite the right color. For this price, I would kind of hope for genuine copper, but it's okay. Okay, then on the flip side, you have wood cups with kind of a metal surround here. Has 52 biodynamic driver on the outside. And then it looks like what has a triple mesh system right here where they have like a mesh on the bottom and then a metal thin weave on the second layer, and then a thicker metal weave on top of that. I gotta say the machining for the most part is pretty good, except the only thing I don't really like so far is the way that the yokes feel. Like it feels very, for whatever reason, this feeling right here, like just kind of handling it, it doesn't feel super top-notch in quality, but it is used and I have no idea how used it's been, so that could, you know, just be the person using it. No offense to Justin or anything like that. Just sometimes people are, you know, particularly hard on their headphones. Though the wear and tear on this does not seem bad at all. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in. I'll see you guys in a little bit with some first impressions. Okay, so you could definitely tell that there is a Fostex influence in this headphone. This sounds very Fostexy. This is a little, I don't historically love Fostex headphones. I actually just reviewed a Denon that I really liked, which is also manufactured by Fostex, entirely by Fostex actually. Whereas this, I think just the driver is manufactured from them. But this is a very V-shaped headphone, and unfortunately, I think the the shininess, the overly bright nature of Fostex headphones is unfortunately present in the treble response. It's got a good amount of bass response. The bass response is actually really nice. The mids are really warm actually, and a little bit more like present than a lot of the Fostex headphones that I've tried. But those highs, man, they're just killing me, especially for the asking price that they want for this thing. Now, because of that, I brought this Gustard H16 amp to kind of talk about what I recommend with this so far. So this is a slightly warm amp. It's still a solid state amplifier. It's not a tube amp or anything. It's not going to go crazy in the warmth or anything like that, but it is slightly warm. And I found that this paired well with this over like my A90. I preferred this a little bit more. In my full review, I will listen to a tube amp with this thing, and hopefully I can get to a point where this thing calms down a little bit in the high end. But right now, it's not looking good. I'm not going to lie. They're pretty bright up top, actually surprisingly bright. And given what Klipsh usually goes for, I was expecting something a little bit darker and not so kind of spiky like this is. I don't know if it's just me, because a lot of people really tend to like these things. Now, unfortunately, I did miss the wave on which this thing was really popular. But, you know, coming at it now, I don't know if the hype was justified. I'm just going to say it, but we'll see. Oh, and one last thing I do want to talk about before I go here. The sound staging is kind of small, and I don't know if that's the pad choice or the amount of dampening they have on the back here, or the fact that it's not like this massive open cup. Like the cups themselves are massive, but the opening for the air to pass through isn't massive. I'm not sure exactly what trait is causing this not to sound open and huge, but unlike the other Fostex headphones in this price, it doesn't really sound that big, which is kind of surprising. So it's got some of the detriments so far of some of those Fostex, but it doesn't have some of the benefits, which is kind of strange. So it'll be interesting to navigate through this review. It'll be a few weeks before it's actually out, because I got a lot of stuff up on the roster. And if you want to stay tuned for those videos or this video, hit that subscribe button, comment down below if you have any questions. All right, guys, till the next video, thanks a lot for watching. My name's Josh, signing off. Peace.